it is Jocelyn Elise, that mindset teacher, encouraging you to change your thoughts so that we can change the world. Teacher friend, before we talk about anything, I just have to tell you how amazing you are. Listen. Being a teacher is not easy. There are so many challenges and there are so many things. There are so many things, y'all, that we deal with on a daily basis. So for you to wake up in the morning, to be a teacher, to go to your job with a smile on your face, like, woo, baby, you are doing it. You are awesome. You are amazing. And I am so proud of you for just everything that you have done. And let me tell you, you've done a lot. Because you are a teacher, y'all, and you know our workloads are just crazy. We have so many things that we have to do literally all the time. There's always something to do, to grade, to document all these different documentations and forms and things that we have to send out. Google form, got to fill it out, send it over, and all just so many things. Minty, y'all. There's so much that they're so minty. That was dumb. Okay. But there are so many things that we have to get done, especially right now, because we are in March. So we are edging toward, testing season, and we are also trying to close out a school year. And so in this season and really all throughout the school year, there are definitely some things that we can do as teachers to manage our time efficiently, and being intentional. Baby, let me say it again. Being intentional about how we use our time. You guys, time is the absolute most precious commodity that you have. I can spend money, go to work, earn more money. I can, use certain goods, certain things that I have, and then I can go and buy another thing to replace that. There is never an opportunity for you to be in this exact moment again. Literally, how we use our time is so important. And I'm so happy. Hold on, pause. I'm so happy that you are spending your time with me right now. That just means the world to me that you are taking the time out to listen, to better yourself, not just as a teacher, but as an individual. And so shout out to you for using your time to, get it together, teacher friend, and to make sure that you have the tools that you can use to be successful. So let's get into these tools. Let's think about how we as teachers can use our time intentionally, efficiently, and using our time to make sure that we get through things that we need to get through, because we got a lot. So the first tip that I want to give you is actually something that comes from two ladies that I feel are fantastic. So Bridget and Michelle, if you don't know them from Teaching from the Top, you need to get in tune because they are fabulous. And they push what they call a power list. So a power list is basically a list of 3 or 4. They say do not add more than 4 things to your power list, but just 3 or 4 tasks that during that day, I need to get it done. So really thinking about the things that are truly important and putting those things on your power list. And when they were talking about things to put on your power list and how you kind of decipher what should go on your power list, I felt like, I think it was Bridget that mentioned this. She was talking about this story that she heard Nora Roberts, who is an author, sharing. And so Nora Roberts was sharing, and she's talking about how she can balance her life as an author. And in this, she says that in life, there are glass balls and there are plastic balls. So there are some things that we have to get it done. If I drop this ball, if I don't follow through on this, It is going to affect my life. It's going to affect others people's lives. It is going to create mess. It is going to create chaos. When this glass ball drops to the floor, right, there is going to be moments where I'm going to have to stop what I'm doing. Opportunity cost is going to get ate up because now I have to stop what I'm doing to try to fix this that has happened, to put out this fire. And I feel like this is a trap that a lot of teachers fall into because we find ourselves constantly just putting out fires. We're never really accomplishing or getting things done that we want to get done because we're spending so much time putting out fires daily. And I know, like, in my lowest point as a teacher, I literally felt like the fires never stopped. Like, I would work and work and work, and there would still be work that needed to be done. And I would, stay after and work on the weekends, and still it was like no progress. I wasn't seeing any payback from what I was doing. And what I had to do is kind of step back and see that I was spending time on plastic balls. We're going to talk about those in 1 second. And I was allowing all these different glass balls to fall to the floor. So then I have to pick up the mess. I'm no longer problem solving or helping or taking things off of my plate, but now I'm just having to spend time to pick up the mess that was created because all these glass balls have now fallen to the floor. So we have things like that in our lives, things that we cannot not do. Like, literally, I cannot not lesson plan. I know there are some teachers out there, they're like, lesson plan, lesson man. Like, that's their lives. I cannot do that. Like, if I do not lesson plan, I am literally going to have a terrible day. If I feel like I am not prepared to teach that day, like when I go into the classroom, I already know it's going to be terrible. So there are and that's like when the behaviors and things kind of pop up for me. Like when I'm working and I got my P's and Q's together and the T's are dotted and the T's don't be dotted, y'all. The I's be dotted and the T's be crossed. We know this. So when I go into the classroom and things are together, like literally my classroom can run like a machine. It literally produces exactly what I need it to produce when I'm prepared. When I come into the classroom and I'm not together, literally it's like everything falls apart. Everything falls apart. Everything falls apart. So for me, lesson planning, making sure that I have a solid lesson plan every week is a glass ball. There's no compromise. I cannot go into the classroom. And I mean, I can go into the classroom and, freestyle. But I feel like as I'm freestyling that I am selling my students short. And even if I do something and I freestyle and it's good, I feel like, man, how good could that have been if I had thought through these different aspects of it? And so I am always wanting to be prepared. And that's just really honestly the person that I am. I hate not being prepared for things. So definitely that's a glass ball for me, right? Maybe your glass ball might be different. Maybe there are different things that you feel like if I let this thing fall, if I do not do this, literally my week is going to be ruined. My day is going to be terrible. People are going to depend on me to do this thing and I am not going to follow through. So now this is also going to affect their lives and their days. So thinking about those things that are important that will create mess if we do not do them. And then we have plastic balls. Y'all, as I previously said, I was spending so much time on plastic balls and allowing glass balls to just fall to the floor. Plastic balls are things that we don't really need to do. Literally, you don't need to laminate. Let me say it again for my friends in the back. You do not need to laminate. You do not need to go to defont.com and download a new font for you to be able to make that anchor chart. You don't need to do that. That is not necessary. That is not, I'm speaking to myself. Y'all, but that's not necessary. That is such a plastic ball. That is something that honestly, if you don't do it, who cares? Who cares? So thinking about those things that don't affect others, that don't have as much payback as they do, and the amount of time that you'll put into it. So if I'm spending 30 minutes making a new anchor chart when I have one that's saved in my Google Drive, or I have one in the closet, why are you doing that? What is the true effect of this? Or, oh, I need to make this or do this or put this together when I have my plan from last year that I used, or I have this curriculum that really, if I followed it and I just tweaked it a little bit rather than coming up with a totally new lesson plan that I need to do. Really thinking about, what are the plastic balls here? What are the things that I'm going to spend time on that aren't going to give me much buyback, that aren't going to make that large of an impact? And a lot of times as teachers, we spend time on plastic balls. And y'all, I feel definitely like parent communication is something I need to work on and to be better at. And so I will literally, like, when I would hear my notification go off, I would literally just stop what I'm doing and reply to that message or reply to that email, especially in, y'all, I'm recording this in 2021. This is the COVID year. This is the year of pandemic teaching. And since I am a remote teacher and all of my kids are at home, I definitely felt like I need to be on top of communication. I need my parents to know what's going on because I don't have my kids here. I can't, communicate these things with them or send a letter home or talk to the child if the child is not responding. Can you use words? Can you use words, Jocelyn? Yeah, I can. Okay. Thank you, self. But I cannot talk to the child if the child is not responding to me. So I have to be able to have this open line of communication with parents. And so I would stop what I'm doing. I'd be in the middle of lesson plan, in the middle of, recording a video for my students. And I would literally stop everything and reply to this message. But as I'm thinking about it, because that is, y'all, sometimes our plastic balls can turn into glass balls. And so I have to think, like, wait a second, like, is this a glass ball right now? Is this a glass ball in this moment? And so I took one of Michelle and Bridget's tips and I chose, like I say, okay, you know what? After my first block ends at about 10:30. So at 10:30, I am going to check my messages. I'm going to check my emails. I'm going to send out positive emails for my first block. So if, a student was really working hard or did something, or I want to shout out in a message, I'm also going to send, like, if there's anything that was going on where I kind of want my parents to check in on something, I'm going to go ahead and send that message at 10:30. And then I would also set a time, before I leave. So I will leave school around 4:35. So, at 5 o'clock, I'm going to check those messages again. I'm going to reply to anything that I see. And those are the two moments where I'm going to spend replying to emails and replying to messages, because if I'm doing that all throughout the day, I'm never really focusing in on the task. And a lot of times we say that we're multitasking when really what we're doing is task switching. So we're not doing two things at once, which is the definition of multitasking, but we're stopping and starting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting. And it's just science that our brains take time to resituate themselves into what we're doing. So if I'm stopping and starting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting, okay, I'm sorry. If I'm stopping and starting, y'all, that means that I'm not truly focusing on any of the tasks, which means I'm not putting my best into anything that I'm doing. And so really focusing in and saying, like, even if you feel like, okay, communication is a glass ball for me, and I want to make sure that I have that whole parent communication thing and I'm holding that up and I am making sure that this doesn't fall, but also thinking, like, is this particular message a glass ball right now? Is this particular thing in this moment, like, if I don't do it right now, the world will end? And I can almost guarantee you that the answer is going to be no, right? That we can kind of let things be for a moment so that we can have time to really get to the things that are important in that moment. And that's why I feel like creating a schedule, so having that power list and then creating a schedule. And I don't like go by hour, minute by minute of what my day is going to look like, but I will create a power list for the day and then just say like, okay, during my planning time, I want to be able to get this done. In the morning, I'm going to grade these papers. And then after school, you know, before I leave here, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And so really just kind of thinking about your day and thinking about the opportunities that you have, again, to truly focus on the tasks that are important that you don't want to slip up on. Y'all, I know our plates are stacked super high. Like I feel like there is always a new expectation for teachers on top of what we're already doing. And so it's like when you feel like your plate can't get full enough, somebody put something else on it. And that's okay though, because we are strong. Pause. That's not okay. That is not okay. That is where we are. And this is something that we as teachers can rally together, and we can depend on each other to use our teacher voices and say that this is not okay. But also in this moment, I know I got to show up for my students. I have to show up for them. I have to come through for the kids that are depending on me daily. So advocating for myself while also advocating for them, while also making sure that my students' needs are met and they are not, lacking anything socially, emotionally, academically that I could have impacted. And when we really are intentional with our time, when we are intentional with the things that we do, I promise you will see yourself just being better and better and evolving. I heard someone say that people do not change. And I just feel like if people don't change, then what is the point of any of this? Like, we should continually be evolving, shifting our mindset, shifting how we think about things, shifting our environments. We should continuously be transformed, be renewed, being our absolute best self. And then once you reach that best self, setting a goal to then get to the next best self, setting a goal to then get to the next thing, and to just continue being better. And so, teacher friend, I know that you will walk into your better each and every day. You are going to glow. You are going to grow. You are going to get better and better and better and better. And eventually you're going to look at yourself and you're going to look at the challenges that you face today. And you are going to say like, wow, I can't even believe that bothered me. I can't even believe I was in that space before, because right now I am so far removed from that. I am so much better than that no longer even affects me. So I know that you will use your time efficiently, that we will get better at managing this precious commodity of time, and we will accomplish what it is we need to accomplish. So, teacher friend, I hope that this message helped you. I hope that you can really think about the glass balls in your life. You guys, do not forget to comment down below, to subscribe, to like the channel, to like this video if you like my content. And I really, really, really wish you all an amazing day, an amazing week, an amazing life.